would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayla, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. Always happy to have you. I am back today with another book review, back reviewing every book that I've read in the year 2022. We have book review number 6. I'm just laughing because if you've noticed, my little dog is hiding there and he's looking pretty judgy. That's Tippy. He's not impressed with me interrupting his nap. Sorry, bud. Today we're back reviewing again, so I'm caught up to all the books that I've read so far this year. The most recent ones, we're going backwards to the first half of the year. So this is my 6th review on this channel for this year, and we are reviewing Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I apologize if the lighting is a little off. The only place I can put my camera right now is right here, but there's a huge window behind me, so I'm gonna try and block it with my head. If you watched my last review, which was of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, I was in fact wearing the same sweatshirt. It is several days later. I promise I've taken it off in between. It's just really comfy and I really like it. But we are reviewing Anna and the French Kiss. Anna and the French Kiss is over 10 years old, and I feel like 2012, 2014, like that was like the book to be reading. Like I feel like everybody was talking about Anna and the French Kiss. I never read it or heard it. I never really saw it on shelves. I remember I had friends in high school who were like obsessed with that book in the series and the other ones that follow along, but I never read them. And honestly, I didn't really have an interest, and I actually had no interest in reading it until I saw a special edition copy while I was in Charleston. I went to a bookstore in Charleston called Blue Bicycle Books. If you're in the area, it is super cute. It specializes in classic and special editions, so if you were ever interested in finding a cool special edition and you're in that area, they have a great selection of like collector's editions and special editions. So yeah, check it out. I don't have the book with me because I did pack it away into storage when I moved, so I'm going to include some pictures from my trip to Charleston of this book because they were freaking beautiful. And I kept the book simply because I really liked the cover, and the special edition was gorgeous.
Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be?
I also want to frame when I read the book. It was kind of perfect. I read the book on Valentine's Day. I started on Valentine's Day, and then my flight home from Charleston was 2 days later, and I read basically the whole thing on the plane ride home. And I love being able to like read a book basically in one sitting, so I really enjoyed reading Anna and the French Kiss. This book follows Anna, who is going to France for her senior year of high school. She's kind of a complicated home life with divorced parents, and her father's a best-selling author, but he's like very narcissistic and not the best dad, and her mom is kind of overwhelmed and stressed out. And they decide for her senior year she's going to go get a worldly experience and go to boarding school in France, where it is mostly French speaking. She does not speak French that well, and she is really bummed to be leaving. But once she gets there, we follow her along in her senior year, where she meets Etienne St. Clair, or St. Clair as he's referred to, who is this like cool soccer loving guy that shows her around France, who goes to the same boarding school. She meets a group of friends there on her floor, and they're all kind of connected, and because they're talking about a romance, Anna and St. Clair end up falling in love. However, he was dating one of the other girls from the friend group at the beginning who had graduated, so it was kind of dicey if it was like cheating. They were definitely flirting while he was with this other girl, but like never really like did a ton of like things, like didn't really cross the line, didn't like, I don't know, but there was a little bit of overlap. Okay, let's talk about the cons. And I feel like I always have to preface this when I'm talking about young YA or middle grade books. I know that I'm not the target audience. Like I truly know that I am not the target audience. So I take this con with a grain of salt. I was reading this book and I would get so upset about things, and I'm like, girlfriend, it's gonna be okay. Like it's not the end of the world. So I feel like it just felt like very like high school drama, which it's about high schoolers in boarding school having drama. So as a 23-year-old, I was a little bit like, this is what we're stressing about. But I recognized that to the target audience, that would be things that were stressful at the time. This is kind of an issue I have with YA from that time period, from like the mid 2010s, the teens. I feel like so many authors tried to make their young adult realistic fiction main characters quirky, but it felt forced and like just awkward. Like, I don't know. I feel like they really tried to make Anna this like unique, quirky character, but I was just like, you're just kind of cringy. That's what I felt the same way about Jenny Han and P.S. I Still Love You and all of those books. I just, like, the quirkiness gives me cringe vibes. It was cool she liked movies and stuff, but some of the other things, like, she was so nervous to be like seen in her pajamas. She's wearing shorts and she doesn't have a bra on. And I'm just like, girl, who cares? Like, but she's just so, I felt that Anna was very quirky and awkward and a little bit cringy, and it gave me a little bit secondhand embarrassment, which is like my least favorite thing. Also, being that they're high school students, I felt like every like instance of drama that they had was blown so out of proportion, was so like such a dramatic reaction, like, I'm never speaking to you again and we haven't talked in months and da da da. And it's just like, okay, drama queen. So again, not the intended audience. I get that. And I don't think this is a pro or a con. It's just kind of a neutral thought, and I actually wanted to look this up.
If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the...
Okay, I think it said this in my edition, but I'm not positive if I made it up and I can't reference it. It very much read like a Wattpad novel. You know what I mean when I say that. Like, it was very much written like an online novel, subtle fan fiction-y vibes. But like, I read it and I was like, is this a Wattpad novel? And now I like tried to look it up, but now there's just like a bunch of fan fiction for the book series on Wattpad, so I can't determine, but that's the energy this book had. So just know that going into it. Not necessarily a pro, not necessarily a con, just a passing thought. If you know if it was written on Wattpad, let me know in the comments. Help me figure this out. But let's talk about the pros. I think that she gave each character a lot of like unique backstory. Like, you would not have thought that St. Clair's mom would have cancer, and like to watch him go through that struggle was really interesting. Kind of seeing their own different issues and how they manifest them or like deal with them made them feel very real, which was cool, even when they did it in a really dramatic way. I loved the setting. I've never been to Paris. I've always wanted to go to Paris, so being able to kind of like walk the city and see the things that she's talking about and the landmarks that she's talking about, the way that she describes Paris was really, really lovely. I've always been a little bit intimidated by Paris, not gonna lie, so this book actually made me feel like I was there, and like made me want to visit more. Oh, I'm blurry. Is that better? Okay, there we go. So yeah, the setting and like being in Paris and the way she describes Paris and talks about all these real life landmarks was really great for me, and really nice to kind of imagine myself in Paris since I haven't been there. Another pro, and I don't think this is specific to this book, that I read it at a really great time to read around Valentine's Day, which a lot of people think is like kind of a cheesy, lame holiday. I love Valentine's Day, and this past Valentine's Day was the first year I like had a significant other, but I was traveling, so I couldn't like do Valentine's Day with Grant, so to have a different romance experience was kind of nice. And with romance, it's always nice to know that there's literally always going to be a happy ending, because that's the point of romance novels. Like, I don't think I know of or have read a romance novel where the two didn't end up together. So you can always bank on a happy ending. For short, it was a really fast read. It was short. It was probably around 300 pages, and it flew by really, really fast. I find that Wattpad novels, or like books that have that energy tend to go really fast. So yeah, that is my review so far, my thoughts, pros and cons of Anna and the French Kiss. I gave this book 4 stars, but I wrote in my book review planner that I gave it 3.5. I just like the cheesiness and the drama kind of took away from it, but I did think that Etienne and Anna had like a really like sweet friendship first, which I really loved, that turned into a romance. I loved the setting in Paris. Of course, the city of love for a romance novel is pretty perfect. I loved that it was short, quick read, not too complicated, and was just a happy book to read around Valentine's Day. So gave it a 3.5. I apologize, my camera is really struggling to focus today, but would I recommend that you read Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins? Again, I don't think it's a book that you are, if you don't read, you're missing this huge thing. I really had some FOMO from when I was like 12 and 14 about not reading Anna and the French Kiss, but now I don't think you're missing out. I do think this would be a great book for like middle schoolers. If you're in middle school, you need a romance novel, you need a good like love story, this might be for you. Early high school, it's a pretty innocent romance. You could probably take it. And you might enjoy it. I don't think many people beyond the age of like 16 would really buy into this romance and be like, yes. So yeah, that's just my opinion though. You might like it. I don't think it's the end of the world if you don't read it. I don't think you're missing a blockbuster, incredible romance if you don't read it. But I think it could be like a lighthearted, quick, innocent read. So yeah, take that as what you will. Read it if you want, but don't like run out and buy it. Unless you want the pretty collector's edition, because that's 100% why I bought it. I did not want to read this book until I saw that collector's edition. But yeah, this is a super fast review because the book was so short. But that's all that I have for you guys today. If you've read Anna and the French Kiss, what did you think? What was your review? What would you rate it out of 5? Pros and cons. If you haven't read it yet, do you want to? Is there anything holding you back from reading Anna and the French Kiss? How can we help? Ask us questions, all that good stuff. Let me know what you're reading in the comments down below, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stick around to see my next reviews. I'm not sure what will be next, honestly. We'll see. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found this review helpful. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
Oh, would you follow me?